Big day for us in here in Tesla, up almost $27 on the day, trading just around that 420 mark. Nice little jump in here. You would have thought that SpaceX and Tesla, the way they both traded today, would have been reversed. You would have thought Tesla would have had a big pullback in here. That's coming off of this candle right here with this overall breach of this lower trend line. You would have thought SpaceX, because of the news happening tomorrow, that we were going to get a nice little run in SpaceX. But no, the exact opposite happened. SpaceX kind of fell apart. Everybody sold the news in there, and then everybody just kind of gobbled up Tesla and then went along for the ride in here. Ivy rank is sitting right at 37, about an $11 expected move priced in by Wednesday, 18 if you go all the way out to Friday. And next week, it looks like, or sorry, the July monthlies, it looks like around a $25 expected move in here. So we're going to see what happens as we continue throughout the week. But overall, nice little jump in here. Your Q's in your SPY. Overall, nice little gap up, and then basically just kind of hanging out more or less up there the rest of the day. So big day in here. You actually had a lot of rotation into Tesla and AMD actually today as well. Everybody was kind of selling Micron, even though you did have that bullish net flow overall for Micron. You had actually a big 1,000 call buy there with the unusual activity there right at the end of the day today in Micron. So that's going to be something to watch as we go into tomorrow. But all in all, it looks like everybody was selling out, selling off of Micron. They just kind of gave up in there. SanDisk, the same thing. Everybody's rolling into Tesla and AMD. Microsoft as well. That was another stock that had a little pop that got sold off in here today. And then Apple was also another stock that it seems like everybody was running into and jumping up all over today. So Apple, you can see in here, nice little green jump in here. We're heading closer to this overall trend line in here. That resistance is going to be right around that 316 mark. You can see we're trading at about 313 right now. To the downside in here, we're going to be watching that 311, and then we're looking at 303s. Anything outside of there, it's going to be nothing's really stopping us until we get to that 9-day EMA. So all in all, nice little day in here for Tesla. Where we're watching that 420 mark. It kind of all comes down to that, right? 420, or is it going to be 400? Anything above 420, we're on a ride until we get to 444. Below 420, we're just going to be a magnet, right? We're just going to be looking back towards that 400 and see if anything shakes up. We're going to talk about SpaceX as well in here. We're going to hopefully get another full week in here of trading unless anything crazy happens. But you can see so far this week, nice red candle in here, just the exact opposite of what we had in Tesla. 160 where we're trading. We were trading pretty low there for quite some time. But all in all, nice move to the downside in here if you are bearish in SpaceX. Kind of the volatility collapses in SpaceX when you get a move down, right? Because there's so much call skew in here. So it's kind of the opposite of what a normal stock would be, right? Because usually your risk is to the downside. Everybody's hedging, protecting. So that's why your calls are trading richer. SpaceX, the risk is to the upside because you never know this thing's going to just blow off the top, right? So there's so much hype and everything around it. So all your call skew is to, or all you skew is to the calls. So therefore, when you do get a pullback in price, your volatility starts to collapse. So it's actually the exact opposite. Whereas you would see a rise in stock price, a collapse in volatility. It's the exact opposite here for us in SpaceX. But all in all, 168, 160, that's kind of what we're looking at in here. And then obviously outside of that, we're looking at 150 and then 193. We did mention Micron earlier, so we're going to go ahead and just go ahead and talk about that here on this weekly chart, just because it's a stock that everybody has been kind of trading in here, just having this huge run up. You can see we've kind of just been hanging out in this channel for quite some time. We're sitting right on it right now. So it's all going to come down to this week, what is going to happen. We're sitting here at about 984. To the downside in here, we're really immediate resistance is 981. That's kind of where our lower trend line is, and that's where our next support is going to be. Outside of there, we're looking at that 9-day EMA sitting at 925. But to the upside in here, anything above 1,000, we're looking at 1,012, and then that 1089 area here to the upside. So let's see what happens in here. Nice little rotation overall in just a nice crazy day in here. If you are bullish for Tesla and you're bearish on Micron, it was a great day for you. If you were the exact opposite, then you got hurt in here, right? Because you had a pop in here in AMD. You can see a nice 7% move in here, 552. for the past couple trading sessions, Micron and AMD were trading together. So you would think, okay, nice little run up here in AMD, therefore Micron's going to do the same. No, the exact opposite. So there's the uncorrelation, right? We've been talking about that a lot in our videos. Watch the correlation, see if anything changes. If it does, then play against it and play defensively immediately, right? So that is kind of what happened in here today. Past couple days, all right, we're going with AMD. Finally, nope, broke away from it today. So let's see what happens tomorrow as we start another trading session in here. But we still have that correlation with SanDisk, and Micron, right? So that is that's probably going to hold sway for a while. So that is going to be the correlation that we know for sure. But everything else, we're going to see how that shakes out. But all in all, nice move in here for Tesla. And we'll see what happens for us as we continue throughout the week. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you are interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.